gratifying, satisfying, chasing your own selfish desires. One who does that lives a sinful life. Very soon we are going to see, and we will make sure we will see that today. But how to get out of this? Meditation is too far fetched. It's as someone who is very well, how does the effect of a certain life would result in a state of contentment, bliss. So you are giving me a state, you are giving me effects. What I am looking for is a cause. What is the cause for that?
You adjust yourself.
Which is, sorry, from selfish desire neenga desireless poninga. See, what you are saying is you are going from one extreme like a pendulum, you are going from this end to the other. How does one get rid of ignorance? Higher knowledge, I get what you are saying. An awareness, balanced life. Sorry, ma. The only way you can come out of non-yajna is to start living a life of yajna. And how do you start with it? How does life of yajna start with? What does it start with? It starts with you conceiving a goal in life. You must conceive a goal or a purpose or an ideal or a mission in life. Even though these are very familiar terms, but Gayatri Ma, whenever we use the word desire in the Shastras, they say desire is selfish. And the definition of goal is it must be beyond your selfish interest. That is the definition of a goal. Oh, my goal in life is I want to buy a 5 crore villa. By the time I am 45, I should be well settled. And I must get children well established abroad. And this is a life of an ordinary who? An ordinary entrepreneur will be doing this. Somewhere in the software fellow you say, oh, I need to pay next 25 years EMI of 45,000-50,000. That's okay, I can easily afford it. What's the big deal? No guarantee you have your job tomorrow. Next 30 years you have committed, next 50,000 rupees or a lakh rupee you got to pay every month. Look at it, your desires are going high and high and high. Sorry, sir?
That's why they have introduced plastic cards.
No, it's not a question of being, I am not being negative here, but what I am trying to, I think, can we put on the aircon? Is it, I think it gets warm. Some facing it behind there. Yeah.
Is there not a conflict here now?
Conflict between?
See, there is having a desire and not having a desire. Desire could be an ambition, could be a target, could be a goal, could be a sense of purpose, and then not having the sense of purpose. So you are striving for something. So how do you really balance that? Do we say that we don't have all these things?
So that it's very clear, even though we may be using familiar terms, that's what I said. What you got to be clear is, as long as they are selfish in nature, it is desire. As long as unselfish, it's a goal. The Shastras are saying, rise above your selfishness, shed your selfish desires and embrace an unselfish cause. Live a life of yajna, shed the life of non-yajna.
I would say, buying a, just a question of buying a 5 crore villa may be okay. It's a sense of achievement an object, it's a target, like put in, it becomes yajna, tapas kind of a thing.
It doesn't become yajna until it is selfish. It is non-yajna. Okay, you want to build a 5 crore, buy a 5 crore villa. For whom? For myself and family. Understood? Where is unselfishness there? Where is sacrifice there? No doubt you may be sacrificing for the family, but that's just a beginning of yajna. Your home should be the center, not the boundary of your yajna. You can't draw a boundary around your family and say, I want to make 5 crores, 500 crores, only for my family.
But is that not driving?
It will not. Anything that is, it doesn't flow starts smelling foul.
It could be a micro, but it could be like.
Sir, it is not the question of what you are getting, it is the question of how you are getting it. You can get a 50 crore property, but it comes out of your sacrificial work. Let that be the kamadhenu of your unselfish work.
Let's leave this 5 crores. Suppose I want to win an Olympic medal.
For whom? For what?
It's a tapas, it could be yajna in a way.
It can, see, the action by itself is not right or wrong. Okay, today if I were to leave a mark, இங்க கொண்டு வாங்க, அது நல்ல பாட்டு அது. அலை பாயுதே.
அவளுக்கு தெரியாது கிளாஸ்ல இருக்காங்க.
Nice song.
They are aware, we are not aware.
So the moment
In due regard, whatever he has asked is a very valid idea, where he would like to take a clarification, what is the goal and what is the idea. In other words, he is trying to come to that simplicity of that. Somebody is having, some little boy is having. He says, I want to have a goal of doing something, medicine or engineering or chartered or something. Whether that becomes a idea or whether that becomes a goal. That clarification, he would like to take it in the interest of everybody. It's not only his questioning. It's a context to which he is asking that question.
no, I get that spirit.
So, in that everybody has to find a decision whether what he is doing or taking the decision is for the entire cause of not only the family but also outsider, or it is only my own selfish goal of interest. Suppose the family can afford it, they can go for the course that is there. Family cannot afford it. Only for my own sake I should do that. Then what happens is you are unnecessarily putting yourself before the family. That's it, probably you are trying to convey. Thing is,
No, today we are trying to reason out that.
yeah.
No, but when I am in the growing years, I have 2 youngsters sitting right in front of me.
That's all correct. It's all
But
correct.
in the growing years, there is a something driving me.
Sir, come back to the statement I made. May had been innocuous, but it is it's a game changer. It is not what you do that matters, but for what you do it. You wrote down a Shiva. The only person wrote down is Shiva. That's the reason I am referring to him. Nobody has got a pen and a paper. Pen irukku, paper irukku. But did you write down the statement? Enga irukku kaamunga? See, that's what it is not what you do, for what you are doing it. That's the most important thing. In fact, you can be chasing your desires. As we qualified, you develop greed. It is very demanding, it is stressful, it is challenging, it is painful. It is a draining exercise of living a non-yajna life. It is not rewarding. One who starts chasing his selfish desires is not going to find himself peaceful and happy. Clarify. One who leads a selfish life is not peaceful and happy. I am not challenging you, go and figure out, it is a fact of life. The moment you are unhappy, it is because of your own selfishness. And tell me one unselfish man who is unhappy. Tell me one giver who is not peaceful, who is not glowing with joy, who is not provided for. So you cannot keep chasing your desires, because that is not going to reward you. What we are saying is, what they are saying is, conceive a purpose for which you are working. It can be the same thing. You can be going 9 to 5 every day to the company, but if you work 30 days, you will automatically get the salary, isn't it? Because you have presented yourself in the work, and you have given you have done what you are expected to do. You will be credited with the amount end of the month, isn't it? You will get it, salary will come. But just to work for the sake of salary is non-yajna. The moment you are there in that as a head of a department, you must think in the interest of the team you are working for. What is the expectations of the organization? How can I bring greater success to the organization? How can I bring great pride to my organization? How can my entire team think in the larger being of the organization? That is yajna. And when you work the same 9 to 5 job, you can do for your own family interest, only to get promotion and perks and applause or recognition. So are you working 9 to 5 for the recognition, for applause, or for perks, or for self gratification, or are you doing the same 9 to 5 job to bring greater reputation for my organization? I am working for Honda. The mere brand of writing Honda on my chest gives me pride, because I represent a body which is an international body, which has an employee of 10 crores worldwide, and I take pride I belong to that group. And when I do whatever I work, I want to live up to the standards of what the organization has said, which means I have to think in the larger interest of the organization. That is too far-fetched. Let me rise beyond the politics, rise beyond the ego clashes. Who is superior, who is inferior, who is right, who is wrong, does not matter. I am there for the organization's benefit. Does this act interest in the benefit of the organization? That is yajna. You will anyway get your job. Not only getting a job, you will be recognized. Even if you are not recognized, it does not matter. You become an asset for an organization. Such people who work with that spirit will be noticed. You will stand out. It is like they are saying, a stone that is fit for the wall will not be neglected on the ground. A stone that is fit for the wall, imagine, have you ever seen any polished granite marble lying anywhere on the roadside? If at all any marble is lying there, you will not find it tomorrow morning, it will be picked up, because it has a place. So one who works, an organization looks for one who can work for the organization. No organization, sir, would you hire people who want to suck the resource of the organization? Or you have hired people to work for the interest of the organization. The organization hires you for that purpose. Recently I have heard somewhere, where was that? That a multinational organization, they are filing for bankruptcy. What was this? What is it? Thomas Cook. Thomas Cook, correct. Thomas Cook, the senior management have taken salaries of millions of dollars, as a result of which a huge organization, an organization which has a history of over 100 years, has 178 years has collapsed. Collapsed for what reason? Non-yajna.
They were not aware that debts are there. They were aware for
Ridiculous. Don't give me that excuse. Don't give me that excuse. You do not know what your company is and what position you is. You continue to take salaries of millions of dollars to the extent where a history of an organization over 2 centuries has to collapse and fall. I wish Harish ji was there. Last week after the class, he came up to me and he said, "Sir, it's my humble experience I am sharing with you. We were pioneers in the industry. They were the number 1 in the industry. I don't know what industry they are in. What industry, sir, Valu? Industrial adhesives. They were the number 1 in the country." And he said there was a great tragedy in their factory where 90% of their resources, wealth, everything got gutted in Delhi. He did briefly share to me, and he said how they instilled that spirit of consciousness to build that company. So having lost everything overnight, we came back to be the top. From nowhere we became the leaders of the country. And he said we just applied this yajna spirit in every employee to think, to rebuild an organization which you belong to. Imagine here is an organization which is gutted, each one thinks for himself and finds another avenue and another prospective job for themselves, and desert an organization which needs you more. Would you and I walk out of a home because it's a tragedy or trouble, or rebuild a home? That is yajna spirit, sir. Sadly, it's a rare commodity because we have gone far away from these principles. So the corporate industry needs to be told to work in that spirit of yajna, in their language, obviously.
There is a statement about one of the finance minister, he said, industries are sick, not the industrialist.
Industries are sick.
But not industrialist.
What do you mean by that?
See, the person who has started the industry, he has taken out this money comfortably, and the promoter, and he supports the industry because he has taken the loan from the bank. Whatever he has put his capital first, the first objective is take the loan from the bank, see that he takes back his investment initiative, and then ride on that. Then ultimately he sees the organization collapse, but he is comfortable with it.
This is the height of non-yajna. A perfect classic example of non-yajna.
That statement had come, the industries are sick, not the industrialists.
Yes, we are not criticizing anyone. In fact, all the examples we have taken is just doing justice to what Krishna said, is just clarifying.
And another statement had come that givers gain. This new concept is coming everywhere. That you have to give first to gain.
It is not a new concept. They have woken up late. They have woken up late. It is not new. It has been there time immemorial. You have woke up late, not mean you. The fellows who are saying it's a new Jagran, let that fellow let a peep into the Shastras. Christ said, blessed are those who have a heart to give. You are rich by what you give, not what you take. Our Shastras are impregnated with these truths. The one takeaway is directly is saying live a life of yajna, what more you want? Yes sir. So it's not what you do, whatever be the field of activity, wherever you are, you can be a clerk in an organization, you can have a yajna spirit, you can be a chairman of an organization with a non-yajna spirit.
In non-profits, NGOs, people who volunteer work longer, they are happy and they work free. And the employees, paid employees work shorter and performance is very average. Because of these two stark contracts, what about
So the whole work culture is wrong. The whole work culture of the organization is wrong. You are not wrong at all. You work more, you get more. So you are actually throwing pesticides into the crop. What will happen? You will get a watermelon this size. You will get a pumpkin this size. But you know the pumpkin this size, which is a product of pesticides, has the nutritional value of an organic watermelon or pumpkin of this size. So it's all inorganic growth. The corporate industry is inorganic growth, so it will not last. A time will come where you can't give the demands of the organization, of the employees or the workforce. What will happen? You have, nobody is interested in the organization, everybody is interested of their welfare, their share. They see something chunk, what can I get out of it? Exactly, come back to the example of Thomas Cook. The senior management have taken millions of dollars where an organization collapses.
The name itself says Thomas.
Tamaza.
The name itself says Thomas.
But another company was there.
Yes. Lehman Brothers, very true. Is the entire industry is is running on the term used, greed. Whenever there is a financial crisis, whenever in history it's happened, the fundamental reason is greed. Absolutely, any organization. It's not, and yet there is no know-how how to handle it. So you are digging your own grave. Any organization digging your own grave. It's a matter of time; it will collapse. But if each one can be instilled with this spirit, instill that spirit of yajna, believe me, whew, you don't need incentives to work. Some of you know my life. You may say, so what's the big deal? No, it's not a big deal. I have not received a paycheck for the past 29 years. From the age of 16 I am into this field. Not a single day, single month I have received a paycheck for the work I do. And I am not somewhere living in an ashram or somewhere isolated and nothing, no needs, no necessities or no things. I have a family, I am a normal man like you. But I am not any less motivated. There is a fire in me to serve this cause. In fact, in the 6th chapter he says, Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karotiyah. He says, who is a sannyasi, who is a yogi? He says, Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karotiyah sa sannyasi sa yogi na niragnir na chakriyah. He who does his obligatory duties, karyam karma, renouncing the fruit of action. Such a person is a sannyasi, such a yogi, not the one without fire. He says, a sannyasi or a yogi is the one who has got the fire in him to serve the cause he believes in. And I have that unquenchable thirst or the fire in me to serve this cause for the larger being. That is a goal, sir. And when you live a life of a higher purpose, everything shall be provided. The Kamadhenu comes into your life, which becomes the fulfiller of all desired objects. Whatever your necessities are, it shall be taken care of. The principle works. What you need to do is just ask, Shiva, I just need that. Yes, sir. Sudarshan ji, can you please get that done? No problem, sir. Adha suninga. He keeps giving me assurance. I don't know whether he sees a sense of worry on my face. Do you see a sense of worry on my face? Thank you. But I have heard him a few times telling, don't worry Guruji, don't worry. I am wondering, whenever I go back, I see, am I worrying? Am I worrying? So that is worrying me now, you know. Why does he say every time, don't worry? I am just kidding. So with that lovely heart, he comes up and just says, don't worry, everything is taken care of. Everything will be taken care of. You carry on, you carry on. I have not known him long ago. Not long ago. Not that we have known each other well enough. But yet, what is it that assures him? Not just here, all my life, all through a life, you are working for the people will take care of it. In fact, you are doing divine cause. Divinity will find its own messengers to take it forward. I am just doing my part, what little I can do, I do it, renouncing the fruit, just renounce it and do it. He will find his way of mysteriously things will happen. Who am I to start scratching my head, this is not happening, that is not happening, why this, why that? No. So bring that spirit of yajna into that, in whatever you do, it becomes a goal. Okay? Sorry, ma.
Goal is selfish and is it wrong having a goal?
I'm just repeating a question. You are asking if the goal is selfish, is a
Like I want to do something, like I want to do particularly I want to become a doctor or something like that. It is for me, maybe I'll serve people after I become that, but till I become a doctor, it's a selfish goal. So is that wrong?
I get what you're asking. Now, what you're asking is, let's say, I'm trying to understand your question, I'm not answering here. So, are you asking, let us say I have an interest for medicine, I have a passion for medicine and I want to become a doctor. So, is there anything wrong with it because you perceive that as being selfish? Is that what you are asking? There is nothing wrong with it. As long as, if you ask me, so why am I doing this philosophy? I can very well say I am being very selfish because this is what I want to do. This is what my personality is designed for. You can't say it is selfish in that sense. But if you use that talent or you use that opportunity or use having become a doctor, or why would you want to become a doctor if somebody asks you?
Make money.
Oh, it is a very lucrative profession, very, very lucrative.
What's the end in the mind?
What is the end in the mind? It is not what you do it, for what are you doing it? For what are you doing it? Oh, I am doing it because I have a passion for it and I will be like a fish out of water. I do not know what to do. I know I am very clearly designed to be a medical practitioner. This is what I am. Like you ask me why am I doing it? I only did it for, I am doing it for one purpose because I do not know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. This is what I am.
No other purpose.
There is no other purpose. In fact, you know, it may come as a shock. I can be doing this without a purpose. I can be doing this very selfishly also. It is not what you do. Just because I talk on the Gita does not mean I am doing anything great. It can be without yajna, isn't it? Is it not possible? I can be doing this for a very selfish end. Very much possible. So, you do something because you have a natural affinity for it, you have a liking for it, is your personality requirement. That is not selfish. That is known as, what is the term for that? Passion. Swadharma. That is your Swadharma. Swa means one's own, Dharma means that is your nature. And you have to be true to your nature at all times. Even if there is an opposition at home or any front, you must stand up to yourself because you know what you are and you have to be true to yourself. Not being true to others, but true to yourself. And there is nothing wrong with that. But thereafter what you do with it, you have to be accountable. Accountable to whom? What is in that self that tells you whether you are right or wrong? What is that inner voice? Conscience. There is that conscience that tells you clearly, you know exactly whether you are doing right or wrong. You know very well. Every guy who is committing a sin very well knows he is committing a sin. He does not need to be told. Okay. Verse 11. Let's take verse 11. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha Shreyah paramavapsyatha Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha Shreyah paramavapsyatha. Now the same message in the previous verse is old Sanskrit, in the 11th verse is a new Sanskrit. Only grammatical change, it is Vaidikam, Laukikam, but the message is the same. Nourish the gods with this and may those gods nourish you. Nourishing one another, you shall attain the highest good. You will only do good to yourself by nourishing the gods, and when you nourish the gods will nourish you. Nourishing one another, you will attain good. Shreyaha. Shreyaha is the good, the path of the higher, the greater. The opposite to Shreyaha is Preyaha, which is selfish. Now, what Damini kada? Damini, his statement says, nourish the gods with this, etc. What is the this? Not being selfish. This refers to yajna, which he mentioned the previous few verses. So once you live a life of yajna and nourish the gods, what will happen? The gods will nourish you. Now what is this gods here suddenly? Devan, plural. Now whenever they use the word gods or goddesses, it means limited goals. Whenever they use the word singular Deva or God, it means the Atman, it means the reality, it means Brahman, it means the consciousness, that is the truth, that is one. But he is saying nourish the gods, many gods. Now can anyone tell me what do you mean by gods? Nourish the gods. Anna, what do you mean nourish the gods? It is all what we learn today. Solunga? Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Offering what you do to the Lord, to the gods, not God, gods. Yes, sir?
Everyone around. After the yajna, then it's nourishing everyone, the whole universe as such. So when you say gods, everyone, not just singular selfish,
Selfless work. Okay. Chipan, sir? Yajna itself is to act for a thing, but he says gods antaru. What is the word? Okay. Sorry, somebody was saying something here. Understood, ma. Mana annanga the previous verse lo. You can't be selfish, running behind your own self-centered purposes. So that is non-yajna. Yajna is to work for a cause. Now, everything in Hinduism is divinized by gods and goddesses. Everything you do is worshipped, right from birth to death. Birth is a ritual, death is a ritual, cradle ceremony is a ritual, marriage is ritual, diseases are worshipped. Tell me anything which is not worshipped in Hinduism. Animals are worshipped, plants are worshipped, stones are worshipped, air is worshipped, elements are worshipped. Every aspect of Hinduism is divinized, including Kanchana, which is wealth. So what is the divinized name for Kanchana? Who is Lakshmi? Can you be little Maryada to Lakshmi? Yeah, Lakshmi. I suddenly remembered my half wife's name. I always called her Vijaya. Half, so not half wife, correct. A full wife, half name. Suddenly she reacted, what is this? Her full name is Vijay Lakshmi, but never called her Lakshmi. So when you say Lakshmi, maybe is my wife. So
You said one half of it.
correct, sir. If you were told little earlier, I would not have committed. So goddess Lakshmi. Now, how do you acquire wealth? When you acquire wealth through that spirit of yajna, it is divinizing Lakshmi. You have divinized wealth, which means goddess Lakshmi will come into your life and bless you. Wealth will bless you, it's a rarity wealth blessing. Ask Seturaman ji and Amma, because we just studied one of the very famous verses of Bhaju Govindam. Shiva also is here. Testimony to what is conveyed there. He says the very famous verse, Artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukha lesha satyam putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihitaritihi. అర్థమైందా? ఏం అర్థం కాలేదా? One day I was going for my lectures, traveling. When I went to Malaysia for lectures, for retreat, I ended up carrying this many books for a event, and I want my referral notes, that lecture, this lecture, and things. So one of the students said, "Sir, which date are you, sir? You have got into you have gone to Stone Age," he said. So he said, "Sir, you can scan all your notes and put it in a pad. It is there, touch of fingers is there, sir." Thanks to him, Kamadhenu. This I did not know. I would have carried this many books. I would have referred to them, and that used to be my major part of my travel used to be my books. Now everything is in one this. Why? Yajna. I am doing yajna, so some fellow arranged it, and he arranged it, scanned it, and taught me how to do it, and he put everything into this. Esavos Tvishtu Kamaduk. This is Kamadhenu. So why I am saying this? Now I am telling you Bhaju Govindam, so I am giving reference to it. What does the verse say? Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. He says wealth is a calamity. Artham anartham. Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna. He says wealth is a calamity. How many of us will look at wealth as a calamity? Do we see wealth as a calamity, or we celebrate wealth? Tandavam will be doing, Shiva Tandavam will do, wealth comes now. Huh? So look at what Adi Shankaracharya is saying. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Reflect all the time, he says. Now next statement, truly there is not the least happiness from it. This entire Janma will be wasted in trying to convince you on this. I cannot convince you that there is no happiness in wealth. Mudiyama? Shiva? Mudiyam. So I give up. The wealthy fear even their son. SON. This is how it is ordained everywhere. If you don't disagree with me, if you disagree with me, this is the truth everywhere, man. So you can choose to disagree with me, but this is the truth. You better take it. What is it? Wealth is a calamity. Now, why did we get into this? Lakshmi. Thank God you are not lost your track. Why? So, okay, not why. When does anything become a calamity? When does anything become a goddess to bless you? When it is not divinized. Okay, when is it divinized? When is it you do the, what do you mean doing that is yajna? Okay, if you want 1 crore in your account, example now, don't ask Siddharamanji, please transfer 1 crore all the time in your account, what is going on, please transfer into my account, sola denga. Now if you want 1 crore savings in your account, you want that Lakshmi in your life, how do you get it? Because you said yajna life, how do you get 1 crore in your account through yajna life?
She has to go back.
She has to go back.
She has to go back 40 years.
40 years. How does one go about getting it?
Purpose for what I want.
No. Result is there is wealth with you. That wealth has not come as a calamity, it has come as a blessing in your life. Correct? Means? Sorry, ma? You have lived a life of sacrifice. Means you have been an entrepreneur, you've been working, you've been in an industry, all your life you have built the industry for your employees. You didn't build the industry for yourself. It's not that, oh, my desire is I want to buy a Rolls Royce Phantom, 8 crores plus. My desire, my dream. I remember, this is 10 years ago when I was in Malaysia, I was gifted a brand new BMW. A brand new BMW was gifted to me. And I used to drive. The class, we can't go around. And one of the students came and said, Guruji, this is my dream car. Right? All what we are telling is rise above the desire, my dream car, my life of my dream. Karma. See, as long as you have developed an attachment for it, you will not be happy with it. No, it's not what I got, I'm just trying to tell you. I remember that fellow's statement he made. Now, if your life, you're only wanting to have a Rolls Royce in your life, not wanting to serve 500 employees I have. You're not trying to get business to buy toys for your life. You are trying to expand business so that you serve 1,000 people and their families, which means there are 4,000 people I have to serve. Make sure they get salaries, make sure their children are educated, make sure they are well settled. So you are striving for that. And when you have lived a life, you will be blessed with Goddess Lakshmi will come into your life, not Anartham will not come. So it is not what you acquire, it is not acquiring wealth. How have you acquired wealth? Through yajna or through non-yajna? Choice is yours. But if you choose non-yajna, you pay a price. If you choose yajna, you will reap rewards, great rewards. So he is only saying here, you nourish the cause, the gods will nourish you. Means one who works for the cause of larger welfare, the cause will take care of him. It will happen. It's a matter of whether you have the courage and the spirit to sacrifice your selfishness and identify with the cause, genuinely identify with the cause and work for it and believe in it when there is nothing there to assure you. It's just that faith and trust you have in it, you are taken care of. We'll continue next week. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.